Welcome to Local Vibes Unplugged, where we dive deep into the heart of our community. I'm Tammy, and together we'll uncover inspiring local stories, spotlighting the businesses and events that make our neighbourhood vibrant. Join us for engaging conversations filled with practical business tips, valuable advice, and first-hand stories from real people with real experiences. Whether you're a local entrepreneur or someone who loves to stay connected with the community, this is the place for you. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get inspired together.
Hi everyone, Tammy here at the Login Lounge in Camberley. We are in the lovely cozy room again. I'm going to, this is going to be my spot now. This is so comfortable. I have the lovely Lauren on today from the Little Gym. Hello.
Great to talk to you. How are you doing?
It's good to have you here. So tell us, we were just talking now, because I had a bit of a misconception about the Little Gym. I literally, when I think of the Little Gym, I'm thinking of very young children, but you go up quite far, don't you? Tell us what the Little Gym is first.
Absolutely. So we run developmental gymnastics classes. We start from 4 months old, so really super tiny babies, and we go up to 12-year-olds. So lots of people like yourself, you're saying, do think that it's going to be those younger children, which we of course do facilitate as well. But the main thing that we do is we run a non-competitive program. So we are using gymnastics as a tool to develop the whole child. So we get lots of children come to us that want to have the fun of gymnastics and be able to do big, exciting skills, but not have that traditional side of things where it is quite strict. Typically in gymnastics, you're sort of in a big group of lots and lots of children. You're either make squad or you don't, and it's very competitive and it's quite damaging really to young children to be in that environment. So we are really the antithesis to that, and we focus mainly on giving the children so much fun as well as the development alongside it. So in our parent-child classes, we'll talk through with the parents different ways of developing their milestones, helping the children to get their fine motor skills, their gross motor skills, working on strength, coordination. As they move through the program, they are doing those really big gymnastic skills, but we do it in a really positive way. So we always compliment what they're doing. Even if they start a handstand and completely fall on their face, we will say, I love how you started that in a great big straight body with a big smile on your face. Next time, we're going to try really hard to keep our arms straight. And kind of give them that lovely positive way of talking to children so that they get the most out of it. Yeah,
because obviously if you have like too much negativity, it puts them off, and they don't want to go home, and then you get the call from the parents, they don't want to come. So exactly, but with this, I imagine you get a lot of can't wait to go.
Exactly, yeah. Lots and lots of parents tell us it's their kids' absolute favourite part of the week. I've got 2 small kids myself. They absolutely adore the Little Gym. It's their favourite thing that they do. They treat the teachers as if they are, their best friends, and they make lots of friends with other children while they're there, and it just really, really boosts their confidence and their self-esteem.
So it's great, not just for the motor skills, social skills, everything. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So you reached a milestone at the minute, was it? Were you telling us what was that?
Exactly right, yeah. So today, the 11th of February, it has been open for 12 years. Here in Camberley. So it's actually been running as the Little Gym since 1976. It was set up by a guy, a South African guy who set it up in the States, and there's 400 worldwide. But here in Camberley, we've been running since, for the last 12 years. But the new thing that's with us here in Camberley is that Amy has just taken over as owner. And this is now her 3rd gym, but she started, much like myself and Kim that's with me today, as an instructor in the gym. Worked in some of the gyms in London, and then worked her way up to running a gym as the gym director, and then took on ownership. So she owns Harpenden, where I also live just up the road from there, and one in Hampton Hill near sort of Twickenham, and then took over here in Camberley just last month in January. So
she's brought a lot of knowledge with her.
A lot of knowledge. Amy's also as part of the Little Gym, we have regular trainings. We do training as a team every single week, and Amy is our curriculum expert for the whole of the Little Gym of Europe. So we do monthly calls with her for everybody that works in the Little Gyms across Europe to focus on what that monthly focus is going to be like. So for February, we are doing Put Your Heart Into It, and we are talking about resilience. We're talking about making friends. We're talking all about kind of the proprioceptive sense and how that can help develop those, particularly those younger children, and lots and lots lots of positive feedback. And we're also weaving in a little bit of responsibility. So we're starting to teach the kids kind of through their gymnastics, they're doing things like helping do the laundry and putting their bits and pieces in the washing machine. But by doing that, they're walking on their hands to go and get it and do that sort of thing. So the little ones are having a lot of fun.
I need to get my daughter in.
Things today. Absolutely. You are very welcome anytime.
She's quite busy, but she does tennis twice a week, swimming and beavers.
Amazing.
But if it gets her to help me more around the house...
100%. It'll also help her out in those other sports and things like that as well, because gymnastics is actually the only activity that is a full body workout and also weight bearing. So swimming is the only other full body workout, but you're not weight bearing. So because you are in the water, you're not kind of also building that bone density and strength through your through weight bearing.
But something
so we are the only people that can provide that kind of full basis, and it's a really good way of that starting foundation in sports. There's been some really interesting studies that specialising in sports shouldn't come until after the age of 12, because you can kind of shorten your muscles. You can have issues where, you know, if you only focus on tennis, for example, you can really, really build up those quad muscles. And then as you grow, when you get older, then you can get lots of injuries. So there's been some interesting stuff to say that you should do more of a global sport when you are younger. Ideally gymnastics.
I think that's
to then help you with
one
those
of the
older
reasons, obviously,
skills.
wanting her to learn to swim in general, but also is for that. So that it's not just one focus. But
swimming's fantastic.
But actually, excuse me, I have actually been told that gymnastics would be good for her. She was a late walker, so I actually had her seen because I was like, something's not quite right. I've got an older child. She hated, like, you know, you do the usual things with babies where they would bear weight on their legs, and I was like, she used to curl up. She didn't want to do it. And she had to have some special shoes to help her strengthen her legs. And she has these insoles because she has her feet tilt. Sure. And one thing he has said, things like gymnastics, soft play, places like that are great because, of course, being barefoot, having the feet spread out, strengthening up, those are great for her to do those type of skills.
Absolutely.
And she has asked about it, and I'm like, okay, there's only so many days in the week, my love, but we will see what we can do.
Well, if you would like to add many things to your schedule, then you are very welcome. But it's really interesting what you say about the foot development and things like that. We get a lot of children that come to us having been referred from an occupational therapist or pediatric physio and things like that, because more and more children nowadays, their milestones are happening later. So whereas it used to be 18 months, if you weren't walking by 18 months, you'd get intervention from the NHS, and they've recently changed it to 2 years old because those milestones are happening quite a lot later. And those of us that are working with those really young children in the child development world, there is quite a big focus on whether kids are being contained too much. So they go from a pushchair to a car seat to a high chair. They go in their pushchair again to get walked to the coffee shop. Then they sit on the lap, and they're not actually given that time to freely move. So therefore, their development is just happening that bit later because they've not got enough hours of free movement in their early years.
Which is why places like that and soft plays are ideal.
Absolutely,
because there's getting that. I mean, soft plays were literally our jam growing up. Is even though she was walking, she was crawling everywhere.
And lots of people do that, and soft plays really do have a place. There's a lot of good that comes out of a soft play because you do have that opportunity to do the motor skill development. But the thing that's different with us is that, we've got the kind of leading the teachers in the class and things like that, but it's also an ever-changing environment. So we change around our equipment before every single class. So if you came to our 4-month-old class and then you came later on in the day to our 3-year-old class, the gym's going to be different. And because it's that ever-changing environment, the kids have got a new challenge to overcome each time. Whereas if you go to soft play, the same soft play each week, once they can climb up that staircase, they can climb up the staircase. And it's the same. Whereas we will put a staircase, a block, put it on the slide, and then come down, then a bar, and then this, and it's all kind of, then it'll get all swapped around and moved into a different way. So they've got that new challenge every single time that they come. So they're developing different parts of their body each week.
And are your classes up to the age of 12, are they based, so depending on how each child, because every child develops differently, do you have to have some children where you're like, okay, do you know what? They're actually hitting more above this class. Do you move them into a different class, or how does it work because of how the classes are structured?
So we have quite narrow sort of class age groups. So for the parent-child classes, we have 4 levels that they go through. So we have our 4 to 10 months, then 10 to 18 months, and so on as we go through. We then have our preschool classes where we have just 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and then 5-year-olds. And then over 6, we've got 4 levels to progress through. So although it's not competitive, so we don't say to the children, you're doing better than this child and therefore you get to do it, we are competitive for their individual growth. So if a child comes to us, has never done gymnastics before, and their main goal is to be able to forward roll or to cartwheel or something like that, we'll be working on that. If a kid comes to us and is just, naturally has either done some stuff before or has naturally got that ability, we've got the levels to kind of progress through and get moving up through the program as they happen. So it's not necessarily once they get into the primary school classes, it's not necessarily based on their age. It is more based on them being in the right class for their ability, but also for their confidence. So, we would want to make sure that they're in a class that they feel comfortable with, that they're not being pushed too hard or that they're not finding too easy, so that they are getting that new challenge each week.
Wonderful. And are you running any offers at the minute? How does it work if people want to get in touch and sign up?
We've actually got an open house running on the 22nd of February. So if this does come out in time, then we would love to see as many people as possible along for that. The gym's going to be open. We've got sessions running throughout the morning from 10-month-olds up to 12-year-olds. The 5 to 12-year-old class is a cartwheel workshop, and that's getting a lot of bookings already. So if you're interested in that, then come and see that.
Cara she thinks she can do a cartwheel. She's not bad, but she's not quite there. But she's like, look at me, mummy. I'm like, and so I think she would love to do that.
Absolutely. Well, we would absolutely love to see you. Do let us know and we can take your details and get you booked in. But it's going to be a really nice opportunity for people to come down and see us. And if people do enrol at our open house, we are giving them their first month for half price.
Okay.
So our membership is just a rolling monthly contract. You can stop it at any time with 1 month's notice.
Yeah.
Of course, we'd hope that you'd stay forever.
And do they run,
we've got kids
do they run through the holidays?
Gyms that have been here for years and years and years.
Is it through the school holidays or is it through term time?
So we have a regular term time schedule, but then in the school holidays, we run holiday classes that you get access to for free as members. You get to just book into those as well. So
nice.
You can come as much as you like, effectively. And then we have a practice time for under fours called Tumble and Tea. And the Tumble and Tea sessions are with a teacher, anything that you've learned in your class that you'd like to go over, or just to be somewhere to burn off some energy and that kind of thing. Like you said, you used to hang out at soft play a lot.
Yeah.
They're free and included in your membership. So if you think of what you would have spent going to soft play, you can come to us. They are every single day that we're open, which is 6 days a week. So you can come down to us and come and burn energy all the time if you are free to do so, or every day that you're not working or not got childcare and things like that, then that's for age 4 and under for them as well, because particularly we find lots of people in that kind of younger years or their preschool years do work part-time, or they're perhaps on maternity leave and stuff like that, and looking for something to do with their little one, and we're here.
Fantastic. And so say someone can't make the 22nd and they're like, do you do is like the first session free to try? And
Absolutely.
Then is that how it works?
We do offer a free trial. So if you can't make it down on the 22nd, it's not a problem. It's quite a nice opportunity to come because everybody will be in the same boat and everybody will be new. So it'll be a nice kind of little taster session. But you're very welcome to join any of our classes as long as we've got space to come down and do a free trial class as well. So we can just get anybody booked in for that too.
Brilliant. So I imagine best way to get hold of you, you've obviously got your website, Google, Instagram, Facebook. I see a lot of the posts on there. So
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So
I'm glad you're seeing our content.
I am seeing the content.
Yeah. So we've also got, if you are nearby in the atrium, you'll have seen we've got posters everywhere. We have been poster spamming the whole of the atrium. So hopefully people will be seeing those too. We have had quite a few people contact us that have.
You get a lot of recommendations as well, I see on Facebook. I see a lot of people, when people ask, I'm looking for some kind of gymnastics for my child, you guys come up a lot.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad. It's really nice. I think with any kind of childcare business, you'll know you've got kids yourself. Like if my friend says that they're doing a swimming lesson and they're thriving, I'm going to join that swimming club. I would trust my friends' opinions if people are enjoying it. Really, I think things with kids are such a word of mouth business that, we really do rely on that goodwill from our parents. And the people that are coming to our classes every week, we've got about 400 families a week that come down to us. And it's really nice that they do really love it and they can see that their kids love it and therefore they tell their friends, and hopefully then we do get those referrals coming through from people.
Well, I definitely see a lot for you guys, so you're doing something right, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
It's been really fun.
And it would be lovely to have you in again at some point, and we can see what else is going on later down the line. You can maybe catch us up near summer
100%,
and let us know what's happening towards that.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Local Vibes Unplugged. We hope you enjoyed our journey through the heart of our community and found inspiration in the stories we shared. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review to help others discover the remarkable voices that make our neighbourhood thrive. If you have any thoughts or stories you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. Also, check out our website, buzzpodcasts.uk.